Welcome to beautiful Singapore. It's time for the Formula Horizon Singapore Airlines Singapore Grand Prix of Season 15. I know it's been a few days since the first race, but now it's time, round 2, here in Marina Bay for the Singapore Grand Prix. Nearly 1,500 light projectors and 108 kilometers of cable make up the Circuit of Light as it's raced in Formula 1. The 5 stars on the national flag of Singapore represent the ideals of democracy, peace, progress, justice, and equality, of course. Like last week, we are not doing this at night. Here we have the track, different track layout than what is actually shown, so I'm not going to say any of the actual facts. 2018 top speed was 330 kph, more than 23 turns, and a lap record in 2018 of a 141.9 by Kevin Magnussen. Down in the turn 1, we had the 2017 race start. Both Ferraris and Max Verstappen all getting involved, and it was just all chaos for that first ever night race in the wet. In turn 7, Felipe Massa and Lewis Hamilton coming together, and I believe it was Hamilton losing his front wing. And 2012, Massa getting involved again, this time with Bruno Senna in the Williams, nearly losing it down into turn 13, as it's called on this track. The 3 tire compounds, the super soft, the soft, and the medium, red, yellow, white, as they have been so far this season in the last race in Bahrain. Let's take a look at the starting grid for the race. John Buchel starts on pole position alongside Eastbound, his first pole position of the new regulations. Eastbound qualifying second for the second time. Fernando Alonso is highest start for Ferrari in P3 alongside Isaac Spacedorf in P4 for Red Bull. Neil Hungary starts 5th alongside Emerald Diggy in 6th for Red Bull, so pretty good qualifying for the Red Bulls. Luis I don't know starts 7th alongside Landon Canoca in the Lotus. Jenson Button starts 9th alongside Alan the Alien for the BMW Sauber team. Pierre Gasly starts 11th for Toro Rosso alongside Philippe Epical. Good qualifying for both Alfa Romeos. Nate Cousinot starts 13th alongside Zuka Boy in the Toro Rosso. It's an all Force India row. Sebastian Vettel out-qualifying Dan Buchel. 17th, Mami Cool alongside Kaida 1-2 and 18th for Williams. 19th, we have Nicholas Latifi, and it's a grid penalty for Luna D. Darling, who will start from dead last on the grid. And it's lights out in Singapore, and they're all racing down into turn 1. Fernando Alonso up into P3, or staying in P3. And so we have Isaac Spacedorf, and Isaac Spacedorf is flipped over into turn 1. And that is big, and he's been ran into, and Alan the Alien's also gone. And it's a big pileup at turn 1. Pierre Gasly the first to get out of that pileup and get going again. Emerald Diggy running in P5. As John Buchel still leads from pole. As Isaac Spacedorf is out of the race, and they've gotten the car back into the pits. Eastbound trying to chase down John Buchel for the race lead. As they race down into the sling chicane, John Buchel using all of the track limits that he can through the full width of the track. As the top 5 is John Buchel, Eastbound, Fernando Alonso, Neil Hungary, and Emerald Diggy in P5 for Red Bull. The 2 McLarens, 6th and 7th for McLaren. Landon Canoca running P8 for the Lotus team, and Philippe Epical in the points. The first time for BMW this season, so could be a good result for them, a good result possibly for Toro Rosso, as they're running 10th and 11th. And I feel like it's going to be a good scrap between the 2 Toro Rossos as it was last season, across the whole season. Zuka Boy and Pierre Gasly, as now they're passing Isaac Spacedorf, and it is showing us the actual top 10, and the top 19, everyone else but him. As look at just how far back the rear of the field is after that pileup. as Neo Hungry is falling behind the, I'm just gonna turn my mic up a bit, 4 seconds behind the top 3, and Emerald Diggy is gonna try one down the inside, and Emerald Diggy is flipped over, and that's both Red Bulls flipping out, and he is out of the race as well as a result. So now McLaren's running 5th and 6th. And both Toro Rosso's in the points now. The beautiful chrome livery. As there's Emerald Diggy officially qualified as being out. And oh, is that Jenson Button? Jenson Button's flipped over. He's gotten the car going still. And he's not out of the race. So that's 3 cars flipping in this Grand Prix, 2 of them out of the race. So we have John McCool just maintaining pace at the front of the field. Fernando Alonso still running in a nice, tidy P3 where he qualified. As John McCool takes a new fastest lap of the Grand Prix. As here we have the Mercedes. The front 3 are almost 2 corners, or 3 corners ahead of the rest of the field. Neo Hungry just lagging behind. I don't think he's holding up the field. I think that he's just not got the pace out of that car like Easton Bound has. Or it could be also be, I'm just now seeing he is on the soft compound tire and not the super soft, like the front 3 and like everyone behind him. So, not the right call for the Mercedes team. In fact, Neo Hungry is the only soft tire runner in the top 14, as 15, 16, and 17 are all on soft tires. Lindsey Darling, Sebastian Vettel, and Alan the Alien. But both Red Bulls are out of the Grand Prix with more than half the race to go. Zuka Boy's also flipped. Is Zuka Boy out of the race? Gets overtaken by Pierre Gasly. Zuka Boy's got back going though. So it seemed Red Bull just got very unlucky with flipping and being out of the race, as 2 other cars have flipped and they've stayed in the race. Also, this is the final race of with the starting grid we currently have, as I will be making the starting grids and I will not be using ones from official Formula 1 races anymore. So that means there will be a little extra air of randomness to the starting grids of the races. I will be sure to we'll still use the opening graphics from the real races, but starting grids will be completely new and improved. As Neo Hungry 15 seconds behind the front 3. Easton Bound 1.6 behind John McCool now. Is starting to pull away in the second half of the race. As this happens on street tracks, it's chaos in the front on the first couple laps, and then it just starts to die out as Latifi is into the pits, and I think he is out of the race. So it must have been some sort of collision at the back that we just simply didn't see. So it's just a stalemate among everyone right now. The rear of the field is, I mean, the cars are close, but just none of them can get past, as the Mercedes of Neo Hungry is faster than the cars behind, but is not fast enough to pull away from the cars behind, but not slow enough to get overtaken by the cars behind. So he's just kind of stuck in P5, P4, which as a result, I think he would be perfectly fine with. As John McCool now 3 seconds ahead of Easton Bound in second. And he's just slowly pulling away more and more from the rest of the grid. As here now we have P4, Neo Hungry rounding the final corner as John McCool's already on to through the first DRS zone. So 23 seconds behind the leader is just pretty incredible. He could pit and stay in the lead of the race, or not in the lead, sorry, pit and stay in the podium positions. I'll say I recorded this race a few days ago, and I just have not gotten around to making the commentary for it, so sorry that it's taken so long for this one to get out, but we're here now, and yeah, I mean that's all I have to say really about that. I mean, look at just how close they all are, 4th down to 8th, but just no one can get past on the tight streets of Singapore. I am being quiet because of 2 reasons, not a lot going on, and the engines just sound very nice, and I like listening to them. As John McCool is now almost 6 seconds ahead of Easton Bound in P2. As we're going into the final 2 laps of this race, and look at just how far ahead John McCool is. Fernando Alonso almost could pit and stay exactly where he is now. Those soft tires, not the kindest to use. I don't see, personally, why Formula 1 can't go back to these cars, just put some extra safety like the Halo, and go back to these regulations just with extra safety and let them race, man. But no, it's all, oh, we gotta use hybrid engines. We gotta have them recharging at the end of straights. Yeah. As John McCool takes a new fastest lap of the Grand Prix and enters the final lap. So I wonder when we're going to cut to him as making up for his mistakes in Singapore last year where he crashed out from P2. And we have run the math. And I don't know if I mentioned this, every other result goes the exact same except he finishes P2 and he would have won the World Championship last season. So shows just how crucial every point is in this championship. As only now is P4 through the final corner and onto the last lap. As here we have John B. Cool onto what in real life nowadays is a DRS straight. No DRS down this straight in 2012 when this track was used, or when this layout was used. As now we get onboard footage. As John McCool only has one corner to go to win his first race of the season. A win from pole fast lap. It's a Grand Slam victory for John B. Cool. John B. Cool wins the Singapore Grand Prix. And it's a dominant victory from the Ferrari team. Eastbound rounding the final corner to take P2. A good result for him. That's 2 P2s in a row, as Fernando Alonso is going to be back on the podium in Formula 1. P3 for Fernando Alonso. And now we wait for the rest of the grid to just trickle through these final few corners. You can see there's about 30 seconds left from that timer down on the bottom. Riding along board with Landon Canoka through the final couple of corners. So top 4, I believe all as they qualified. As they go through the final few corners, Suzuka Boy's going to finish P10 right behind his teammates. As the Haas team, P11 and P12, good results for them outside of the points, unfortunately. But in that car, a very good result. As they're all trickling through the final corner.